Now, about 10 to 12 feet underneath us is the city's drinking water, which runs through that aquifer. So it's really a priority to make sure that these chemicals in this building don't leak into that. Once the flames started flying out of this building, the Environmental Protection Agency was called in.
There were also some acids in there, some sulfurics, there were some hydrochloric acids, and a little bit of nitric acid in there also.
Alpine Metal Furnishings does paint application, which involves stripping metal in dip tanks using these chemicals. The problem is they're right next to this aquifer, which holds city drinking water.
We don't want it seeping down into the ground and contaminating our water table.
The EPA made sure a cleanup crew was brought in for the initial emergency response.
They've removed some water from a retention pond that we built in from runoff from the water lines that were broken inside the building, and some tanks and totes that were leaking corrosive material.
Fire Chief Mark Lynch believes the water will be safe, but we wanted to know what kind of precautions businesses like this have to go through. Facilities like this, they have to have inspections, right?
Yes.
What kind of inspections?
Fire safety inspections, and we come in here and inspect this facility once a year.
Gotcha. Was the last one completed?
Yes.
Chief Lynch says they make sure all chemicals are properly stored and there are no visible fire hazards. I also asked Chief Operating Officer of Alpine, Jeff Davis, about it. He says his business is up to date with all the appropriate inspections. Now, I found this isn't the first fire that Alpine has had. They had another one in a different building 3 years ago.
That fire, if my memory serves me correctly, it was a spontaneous combustion fire. It was from a paint booth operation that had accumulated paint and debris that had caught fire.
It's still unclear what caused this one, but Davis tells me all of his 35 employees are returning to work Monday at one of their other buildings. Now, the emergency response part of that cleanup is completed, but as you notice, there are still a lot of chemicals in and outside of that building. I found out that's Alpine's responsibility to take care of. Natalie Tendall, 2 News investigates.